Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993. We are back here for some more baseball news as we are trying to get caught up with a lot of news that I've put aside for a while with how busy I've been. Just a couple days ago, I did talk about some retirements from Major League Baseball heading into the off season. Now we're going to talk about some injuries. There's 11 of them. Some of these aren't as bad, but whenever I read into them more, I'm like, dang, a lot of big names that are going to be missing maybe the beginning half, or if not all of the 2024 season. That really sucks for sure. A couple of these guys I think are also free agents, I believe, as well. But we're going to get and talk to them. Now, there is one injury that I did leave off this list. And the reason why is because this certain person, this certain $700 million person, deserves his own video of his own. So that, along with a couple others, is going to get its own individual topic video that we're going to get into at some point a little bit later on. But today, we're talking about some injuries to get caught up. So without further ado, let's roll in and briefly discuss some things here. So the order I'm going into is by how the news was broken. First, we have Padres third baseman Manny Machado. Apparently, on October 3rd, it was announced that he underwent surgery to repair the extensor tendon in his right elbow on that day. As of now, he's hoping to have him ready in time, as the recovery estimate is 4 to 6 months, which means that he should be able to be ready for spring training, while the worst case scenario is he could return shortly after opening day as well. Of course, if he misses most of spring training, though, that's going to hurt because he's probably going to have to basically rehab and basically have the start of his season get delayed a little bit. Machado had a little bit of a down year this past year. He only hit .258 this past season after a standout MVP caliber season in 2022, where he finished second in the MVP voting to Paul Goldschmidt. This also comes a season after Machado, who originally planned to opt out of his contract after 2023, signed a brand new extension with the Padres that he'll be with the club as of now till 2033 as well. Of course, this could mean a little bit of some shifting around, though, for the Padres as well. They still got Xander Bogaerts at shortstop. They have Hae-Sung Kim, who is kind of a utility infielder who's basically stuck at second base. He could move over to third. Or Jay Cronenworth could even move over at second or third as well, as he was moved to first base this past season. Maybe, of course, other names they bring up as well as possibilities. But it looks like this one is not as scary. If Machado misses any time, it could be just a little bit at the beginning of the year, like maybe like the first month. It's not going to be that much of a loss for the Padres. They'll be able to get him back and hopefully bounce back. Although when we get to some transactions, I think the Padres are going to kind of maybe have a little bit more of a down year this coming year. We'll talk about that why, though, when we start getting to some transactions that I would like to address as well. So yeah, Machado has had elbow surgery. Should be a 4 to 6 month recovery. He had it back on October 3rd. So again, hopefully he'll be ready for spring training. The second one, though, is this is a big blow. The Miami Marlins, the 2022 Cy Young Award winner, Sandy Alcantara, back on October 6th, it was announced that Alcantara had to undergo Tommy John surgery. And he announced it on Instagram, and he indeed will be missing the entire 2024 season. So we won't be seeing the 2022 Cy Young Award winner until 2025, which again, that really, really sucks. Again, it was definitely somewhere the Marlins were not expecting surgery, but they also weren't surprised either. Alcantara's season was cut short, where he landed on the injured list back on September 6th. What was originally thought as a flexor strain, and then it was later revised to a UCL sprain, which then, of course, led to him getting shut down for the rest of the season, and they went forward again with Tommy John surgery. It sucks because Alcantara has not thrown more innings. Alcantara has the most innings over the last 3 years with 619. Well, he is second to Garrett Cole for the Yankees as well. And again, he is definitely also posted another sub-4 ERA. Well, he had a little bit, well, for 2020 to 2022, he was posting sub-4 ERAs. Had a little bit of a rougher year. He only had a 4.14 ERA, but, you know, he still did well for the most part. Yeah, that's definitely a big blow for the Marlins rotation for sure, as they're missing out their ace on the team with the Marlins, who definitely have gotten some pieces together to be a contending team. They did make the playoffs as a wild card team this past season, and also in the shortened 2022 season. So losing Alcantara is definitely a big blow for sure for them. So definitely, hopefully, he takes 2024 to rest up and recover, and hopefully he'll be back to form strong and compete for a Cy Young again in 2025. So again, prayers to you as well, Sandy Alcantara. One not quite as bad, but of course, you know, should be ready for spring training though. Francisco Lindor for the Mets. He had surgery back on October the 11th to remove a bone spur from his right elbow. What's up with these elbow injuries, for crying out loud? He is expected, though, to be ready for spring training. He only just hit just 254, but in 160 games, but he still hit 31 home runs, 33 doubles, and 31 stolen bases as well this past season for the Mets, who had a big down year. After getting 101 wins just a year before, they slumped this past year, of course, unfortunately. But, you know, he will be ready, though, for spring training, and hopefully he will be strong there as well. As, of course, the Mets looking to kind of rebound a little bit in 2024. We'll see, they haven't really done much so far this offseason. And they are getting a new front office and a new management. And he will be under contract for another 8 seasons as well with the Mets, it looks like. So that one's not as severe. This next one, though. This guy just cannot catch a break. Byron Buxton for the Minnesota Twins has arthroscopic knee surgery back on October the 13th after the Twins fell short in the playoffs. This is the second straight year that Buxton had to go this procedure on his right knee that has given him troubles all of these years. As even though he's a former Gold Glover, he was entirely limited to DH duty in 2023 due to his knee injury, and of course it wasn't too successful. Buxton only played in 85 games and hit just 207 and 347 plate appearances. Dang. And then he didn't play again after August 1st due to a hamstring injury. He didn't make it back into action into the majors until Game 4 of the ALDS, when he was put onto the roster as an injury replacement and had one bat as a pinch hitter, popping out to the first baseman in his only appearance as well. But of course, they don't know if this surgery was even correct, his lingering knee injuries, but that just sucks. And, oh man, I didn't read this part here. They're saying, though, he will start physical therapy within a few weeks' time. And the All-Star break... Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I read this wrong. I thought saying he was going to be out till the All-Star break. But the All-Star, Buxton himself, should be ready for spring training. And hopefully with this... Well, again, as I said before, that this may not solve the lingering problem he's had on this knee for a while. They're hoping that maybe with the surgery, if it does give good results, Buxton may be able to return to center field in 2024. Of course, we'll just have to wait, of course, and see what happens with that. But yeah, Byron Buxton, like when he's healthy, he's definitely a star. And I think even like years ago when he was a rookie, I predicted him to be Rookie of the Year. But he just has not had the chance. He's just, I don't think he's played a full season in the big leagues. Maybe one, if any, but he has not because he's just always getting hurt. And that sucks. It really, really does suck. But like him, Lindor, and Machado as well, they both at least should be ready for spring training. At least it's not like Sandy Alcantara. But of course, the news is not going to get any good after this. This is going to get more and more depressing. Next up, we got Brandon Woodruff for the Brewers, who had shoulder surgery in October, and he is expected to miss a majority of the 2024 season. And on November 17th, it was announced that the Brewers non-tendered him, making him a free agent. As the Brewers, despite winning the division, are looking to seem like they have, some players moving on. And, of course, they're getting a brand new manager as well, as Craig Counsell's contract ran out. And he decided to explore the market a little bit. We'll talk about that in my manager's video. And so I guess the reason why they non-tendered him, well, because of this injury. Woodruff was entering the final season of club control. Given his excellent track record, he'd be projected for a hearty 11.6 salary in arbitration. There was no way, of course, for Milwaukee to really lower that or afford it with him being injured. So they decided to move on from him. They discussed a multi-year agreement and trades with other clubs, but neither set of the negotiations manifested in the deal. The Brewers bite the bullet, which the GM Matt Arnold described in a statement as one of the most difficult decisions of his career. To non-tender him for sure, as he's definitely a valuable piece. He's been around in the organization for 10 years. Of course, they remain open to some type of reunion is a key takeaway from Arnold's comments. Although Woodruff couldn't negotiate with other teams, there is still a possibility of a very long absence, which of course might be the reason why they moved on from him and non-tendered him without that club option. Of course, a 2-year contract will be on the table for him as well. Him and Corbin Burns have been a nice 1-2 punch for the Brewers for the past couple of years, but now it looks like he will become an intriguing arm, of course, in the free agent market. Of course, will anybody go after him now? Again, it may happen, it may not happen. It's just, again, all going to depend on his health, probably. Again, the shoulder surgery sounds like it's going to keep him out for quite a while. So, he could probably miss a good portion, maybe All-Star break or even August, where he could make his season debut for sure for whichever team picks him up. Or, no one may resign him and they just might be like what was with Michael Conforto. May just, wait for a year until he gets healthy and then see from there, if they can do so. Although I do think Brandon Woodruff has a more reliable reputation than Michael Conforto, whatever his name was. But yeah, that blows there for sure. Speaking of Michaels, and someone else that can't really catch a break, Michael Fulmer, former American League Rookie of the Year, is expected. He already missed 2019 with Tommy John surgery. Now he's undergoing UCL revision surgery, which was announced back on October 19th. And he's expected to also miss the entire 2024 season. What a rough ride it's been for Michael Fulmer, who's 30 years old, who's had several issues as well. When he's healthy, though, he's a very, very great arm for sure. He was the Rookie of the Year again in 2016 after posting a 3.06 ERA with the Tigers. He dipped a little over the next 2 years, and then he had Tommy John surgery in 2019. He returned to the mound in 2020, but struggled with an 8.78 ERA. And he got moved to the bullpen, where he had a couple great seasons with a 2.97 ERA in 2021 and 3.39 in 2022. And he was traded to the Twins that year as well. He signed for the Cubs, but it was a bumpy season due to both inconsistencies and injuries. But then of course we came back and he started getting back on track. He was doing great again. But now injuries happen again, and he's going to be missing the entire 2024 season. And he also is set to return to free agency. But of course, again, obviously, like I said with Brandon Woodruff, well, more likely Fulmer than Woodruff. They may put things on hold to see where Fulmer goes next until he's healthy again. Especially if people think that he has a reliable arm or not. Because again, that's the second major elbow surgery he's had in his career, which that really blows. I think of guys like Joel Zamaya, who was a setup man, never got a chance to really be the closer for the Tigers, but he had several of those elbow injuries, and that just sucked that it kept happening to him. Michael Fulmer, though, definitely seems to have, some very underrated potential. Again, not potential, but we know he's good. He has a good history starter. He got his career reignited where he moved to the bullpen, and when he's healthy, he's great. He's a reliable arm, but looks like we won't be seeing him though for 2024. So hopefully Michael Fulmer does get better in that department as well. After that, starts getting a little more rougher. We have David Peralta, who is a free agent as well. But he underwent flexor tendon repair on his left throwing arm, and it looks like that he should be throwing and hitting again by March. So he will probably maybe miss the first start of the season, the beginning of the season, wherever he does end up, as he just signed a 1-year deal with the Dodgers. Hit a 281. His power, though, has definitely declined a lot over the years. No, sorry, that's a career average. And then he was hitting well in the first half. And then he had these injuries from around the All-Star break. Because before the All-Star break, he was hitting 283. But then after that, he diminished to just 231. So it looks like the Dodgers didn't re-sign him and making him a free agent. Of course, him being 36 years old, though, again, teams may want to, of course, see how he does. So he may be someone where he may not get signed till maybe June or something like that, if people want to see, how he results from his health due to his age. But he will be out for a while, though. At least till March. Speaking of the Dodgers, future Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw on November 3rd announced on Instagram that he underwent surgery to repair a glenohumeral ligament and capsule on his left shoulder. As of now, even though I read somewhere he's apparently recovering well so far, but the soonest Kershaw may pitch, whoever he pitches for in 2024, but the soonest he could be shipping is hopefully to return at some point next summer. Kershaw, of course, who is now 35 years old, had a strange campaign in 2023. Made 16 starts through the end of June with a strong 2.55 ERA. He was placed on the injured list in early July due to some shoulder soreness. Hoping he would just miss 1 or 2 starts through the rotation. Of course, then he underwent an MRI in the middle of July, and then he says, I feel completely fine. And I was told he had to rest, but of course that was not the case. He still posted a strong 2.23 ERA in his final 8 starts, but he was clearly working with some diminishing stuff as they saw a drop in his velocity and whatnot throughout the seasons. And then, of course, when he his wheels came off completely in the playoffs when in Game 1 in NLDS, the Diamondbacks got 6 earned runs off of him, and he only recorded 1 out. And of course, that's when they found the big injury in his shoulder, and they got that through. Of course, minus the health injuries, it is true Kershaw has had a lot of uncertainty the past couple of seasons. There had been talks, I remember last year too, he was considering retirement. Which I'm like, wow, he's only 33, 34. I mean, then again, Brad Radke had a great career, and he retired kind of like young also at 33 or 34. But, of course, he still signed a 1-year deal. But for what it sounds like, he has support from his family to still continue playing. But, of course, right now, that's still up in the air, too, especially with this injury. And he's also, of course, a free agent once again. Will the Dodgers pick him up? They may be okay after some 2 big signings they just recently made. We'll talk about those, of course, in the upcoming videos as well. But also, as well, they still got a lot more they're dealing with. Well, at the time, Julio Urias and Lance Lynn became free agents. Tony Gonsolin had Tommy John surgery recently. He could miss all 2024. And Dustin May had flexor tendon surgery, so he could be out for at least half of 2024. And, of course, that leaves Walker Buehler, who missed all of 2023 recovering from his own Tommy John surgery. So he'll be coming back. We got to see how he's like. So, yeah, the Dodgers rotation is going to be kind of crazy. I mean, again, they picked up one name that can hit but can't pitch. There's a spoiler right there. They did sign, of course, another Japanese native. They do have Blake Snell, who's on the market, and a few other people. But, yeah, so that pitching rotation is sure not doing well for the Dodgers. I still think, though, whenever he is healthy, Kershaw will return to the Dodgers. At this point in his career, with how much of a Hall of Fame career he's had, can you really see him pitching anywhere else? Like, just let him be a one-team player. You know what I mean? I think that's where he deserves to be. But yeah, Clayton Kershaw has shoulder surgery. He's out until the summer. It still doesn't get any better after that, though, unfortunately. Well, this name is not as big as Kershaw, but it still sucks. The Pirates, who I will do a whole separate video on the Pirates as well. They announced that Johan Oviedo will also be undergoing Tommy John surgery. It was announced right around Thanksgiving. That'll be the case. And he will be out for the entire 2024 season, but he should hopefully be ready to return by opening day 2025, which really blows for the Pirates. I know some of his numbers didn't really, show, of course, his win-loss record. He had a 4.31 ERA, but I really think out of all of the Pirates starters, besides Mitch Keller, even though I'm still not highly convinced on Mitch Keller either, I do think he showed a lot of potential. When he was on his sharpest, he was definitely one of the Pirates' best pitchers in that rotation this past season. So this is a huge loss for them. I do feel bad. I don't know how much longer he's under contract for them, but I think he probably will be there for a while. They acquired him at the 2022 deadline, as he was originally with the bullpen for St. Louis. So hopefully though, when he gets healthy again, he still has him. We still got Mitch Keller. The Pirates did make a signing through their rotation. We'll talk about that in a separate video. We still got, of course, Rosie Contreras, for Ricky Contreras' name, who does have a lot of potential as well, and a couple of others. I think the Pirates might look to add another arm to the rotation as well, but we'll talk about that, of course, when we get to it. But yeah, that's definitely a blow for the Pirates. They're losing Oviedo. Again, like I said, I do think he had a couple inconsistent portions of the season, but when he's healthy and when he's on, I do think this guy has a lot more great stuff to offer than what his numbers are showing. But he will not be playing, though, in 2024 due to Tommy John surgery. Sticking with the Pirates, though, 2 more left. We have Endy Rodriguez, their rookie catcher. He had underwent surgery to repair his UCL and flexor tendon in his throwing arm. He will be out for 10 to 12 months, So he will also miss 2024 as well. He definitely was seen to be favored to be the Pirates' future catcher as well. He had suffered this injury, though, on a swing while playing winter ball in the Dominican Republic last month. And, of course, it'll be a loss of a season. And he's definitely one of the biggest, not just Pirates, but one of the sport's most talented catching prospects as well. He did hit just 220 in a trio games, and he doesn't have a ton of power. He does have excellent strike zone discipline, so he definitely, is, an unsung hero at the plate as well. Of course, that could also possibly open the door to the Pirates giving 2021 first overall pick Henry Davis sometime maybe as a catcher, since he was a catching prospect, but he has been spending time in the outfield as well. Had some time in the season, but you never know what they could do with him. Of course, they also got they also got Jason DeLay in there. They also got some free agent options they can go with, like Martin Maldonado, unless they've been signed already. Tom Murphy, Austin Nola, Tucker Barnhart, who wouldn't mind would be a good pickup for them, or an old friend of theirs who is a free agent after being with the Marlins, after being traded to the Marlins, that I also like, who's with the Pirates, Jacob Stallings as well. You might want to consider maybe, I of all those, I would say maybe either Tucker Barnhart or Jacob Stallings. I love to see the Pirates bring back as well, for sure, to replace Endy Rodriguez. So hopefully, we'll look forward to seeing him in 2025 as well. Hopefully he has a nice recovery as well. And finally, last one, just from last week. But on December 15th, it was announced that future Hall of Famer Max Scherzer underwent back surgery to repair a herniated disc in his back. It seems that hopefully Scherzer will be ready to return to the mound in June or as late as July around the All-Star break. He, of course, returned back home after the Rangers won the World Series, and he had some discomfort in his back that was continuing to get worse. And, of course, he got diagnosed with the herniated discs. And then he decided to have the recommended surgery, get the procedure done now, and it'll give him the best chance to pitch as much possible he can for the World Series champion Rangers, that he's sticking with, I think, for another year after he picked up his 2024 player option, so he will miss at least half of it as well. And of course that sucks too, because Jacob deGrom is going to go half of the year as well, with Tommy John surgery he had back in June. So he'll hopefully return in like July or August for that campaign. So yeah, that's a big blow for them. I mean, they still got Nathan Eovaldi, John Gray, Andrew Haney, and a few others as well. But definitely some big names, that's missing from the World Series staff for the Rangers. But Bruce Bochy knows what he's doing, and hopefully that could happen. Now, also, the Rangers have expressed an interest, also, I forgot to mention what I talked about before, in Clayton Kershaw, as he is a Texas native. There was some interest in him last year as well when he hit the free agent market, but still say he is a Dodger for life, as he should be. That, my friends, that is my injury updates. Get some big blows right there, such as, of course, Sandy Alcantara, Johan Oviedo, Brandon Woodruff, Michael Fulmer. Yeah, not the best luck for some of these guys, unfortunately. So there's a few big names there we will be missing for, if not all, a good portion of 2024. Thoughts and prayers so that they hopefully do get healthy and get better, and hopefully we'll see them back on the field sooner rather than later. So guys, that's my thoughts on these injuries for Major League Baseball. What are your guys' thoughts on the injuries I just talked about? Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. And again, I know I missed a big names injury as well. Someone who will be on the field but just not pitching in 2024. But we'll talk about him in a completely separate video. So guys, make sure you leave your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Be sure as always also to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at the Club of the Man 93. Also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at the Club of the Man 1993. And until then, guys, I am checking out, and I'll catch you guys all later. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!